Okay, so I really hope that you have fun working with teams and working on a project and discussing it, and we're going to be doing a lot of it in class as well, right? But again, the best advice I can give you today is this. I come to class, I heard something, maybe I learned something new, and now I have the semester project challenge, and I should be able to tell myself, what parts should I be looking at that maybe I can write some code for, okay? So just remember, writing some code consistently is very important. Because all of a sudden you realize, oh, now it all comes together, and I can recycle it, and I can repackage it, and I can put something together that gives me confidence that I'm going to be okay towards the end of this project. Because some people just like finish this class without much implementation, and obviously it impacts the final grade. And it shouldn't be this way. Okay. All right, so I guess what else I want to start talking about today. Let's just take a look at week 1, and obviously today is just half of week 1 because we have 2 sessions in class, Tuesday and Thursday. So, but week 1 is our intro, and what I typically do at the beginning of this class is this Java skills review, and simply just saying, how about we write some Java code? How about that, right? Just write some Java code. Wouldn't it be a good idea to write some graphical user interface, small graphical user interface, code to demonstrate some skills and instantly get us on the same page? It's like, okay, can I put together a window with a button? And yes, you should be able to. It shouldn't be an enormous challenge, and so we should all be able to do something like this. Right. So we can move in this direction, and then so next week we will continue on to other topics of our discussions. But this is something that is kind of important here, so that we brush up on some of our Java skills, because maybe you haven't programmed. For instance, I really haven't programmed in Java for a month or so since our 157 course has finished. So this will be another chance for me to practice my Java skills as well. I haven't even looked at what version of Java compiler I have on this machine before I came to class here. So we will figure it out. Okay, all right. So why don't we focus the rest of our attention today on this? Now, again, I would like to remind everyone that again, if you're not really familiar with Java but have a more or less solid C experience, I would encourage you to maybe try Java, and if you like it, move on with Java. If not, continue using your C skills, and like I said, you're kind of on your own to make your decisions in terms of how will I be presenting what I should be presenting. Because in Java, if you use GUI, you can just put like a text box on the screen and have user re-enter that information anytime they want. If you have your command line, roll and scroll type of interface, it's going to be just simply maybe oftentimes writing more code. But more on this to discuss later on. All right, so introduction to Java Swing Forms, and that's the presentation. Let's just take a look at it. Oh my God, 38 slides. So that's kind of lengthy, but that's okay. What I need to do is that I can see that I have NetBeans. I would suggest that you search for and install NetBeans or any other environment if you'd like to use Java. So let me get started with this. Obviously, I do have it installed on my desktop, but it will probably be something I can try right now. Right. So this version is probably out of date. Maybe I need to get a later version here, but it is what it is. So we'll keep moving on. All right. So let's see. Let me just make a new project, right? And I need to find the right place for this. This will be just a Java application, right? And I need to, this will be my Java 260, right? Java 260. And today application is going to be, let me see. Swing components. Let me just take a look at the first thing here. Yeah, I'll just simply name it A1. That's what I was looking for. Application version 1. A1. Okay, so this is going to be a demo, and I'm not going to create the main class here because I will just do everything manually. So I'm just going to create a normal Java project and add nothing to the source code, to the set of source files. All right. So just create it using NetBeans. Create a new project like this. Finish. Okay. Right. And then I am also noticing that I have a list of projects which I would like to basically close, right? Close right there to get rid of them. I normally do not work with multiple projects all the time, so it's natural for me to close these projects because they just obscure the view and distract me from what I'm trying to focus on. If I need to find something, I'll find it. All right, but right now, just close everything. Okay, so now I have some kind of environment shell that I can, do my experimentation. So let's go back to where we started, and so the topic of this discussion, like we said, brush up on our Java skills, but first take a look at user interface, graphical user interface in Java, and generally speaking, we refer to it as a Swing, a set of Swing components, which is incredibly rich and gets richer every year because Java essentially provides solution for graphical user interface on both desktop and Java applet environment. So this is what we're going to take a look at. So there's a quick overview of Java Foundation classes. That's the original name. Almost nobody is using this name anymore. It's all pretty much called Swing. All right. So again, I'm just going to skip over these little overviews. And so the Swing gives us a set of components that we can organize our graphical user interface. For instance, JFrame. A JFrame is essentially a window, right? So graphical user interface presumes that you have a container of some gadgets or widgets which are capable of responding to user clicks, user taps, swipes, typing in something on the keyboard, right? And so in Swing, we mostly focus on JFrame. There are other levels of windowing components in Java Swing, but frame is one of those that we focus on a lot. And then I guess self-explanatory pieces then follow, like button, right? A label, which simply is just display some text, right? The menu bar, which is kind of more advanced if you want to add a menu. The panel is also general purpose container. So sometimes, for instance, say I'll demonstrate what this panel is good for, right? So, for example, you can have a window, right? Where's my pencil here, right? So you can have a window, and why don't I switch back to this color, right? So if you have a window, and it has some kind of title, right? Title bar, whatever. And then it has, for instance, a set of two radio buttons, like multiple choice buttons, right? But two sets of them. So say, option 1, option 2, option 3, and also separately, right? Selection 1, selection 2, selection 3. The way the users expect this to behave is that if I click over here, so this selection 1 gets selected, but then if I click over there, then this gets deselected, right? So the buttons, so when the user clicks different buttons, right, when the user transitions from selection 1 to selection 2, the buttons are aware of their existence, right? They know about each other's existence, so that if one is selected, the other one is deselected. However, they're separate gadgets, right? So the way it's usually organized, that these buttons, they have to be grouped, right? So buttons make sense only if they're part of the group, okay? For instance, in your HTML input form, the way the browser knows that it's the same group of buttons is that they say they have the same name. You just give them all the same name, and the browser will say, "Oh, I think this is these three buttons are part of the same group." Okay. Whereas in Java, what happens is that you typically place these buttons not directly on top of your window when you program, right? But you actually make them part of JPanel. Okay, so JPanel basically groups other controls, other controls, or gadgets or widgets, whatever you call them, right? So that's one of the purposes of the panel. Another demonstration of JPanel use is that if you have another window, okay, and in this window you want to have a box, okay, which basically then shows a picture, right? There's a picture with some, trees over here, something like that, right? And the sign is shining and things like that. So you want to show the picture in this box. Well, guess what? You have to make a choice, and oftentimes you also want the user to be able to do some scratch drawing in this window, something like that. Well, guess what? Again, a very likely choice is that you're going to choose JPanel to be the container for that kind of set of functions. So JPanel equals container. Sometimes a container of things in GUI, right? So it's very convenient to group things together, place them inside a single container, and that's the JPanel, general purpose container, frequently used to group other components. Okay. Text area is like a little notepad, right? So basically the control that behaves like a notepad, so you can have like multiple lines there, right? So that's the idea of text area. And text field is just a simple box where things can be typed in. Right. So, of course, there are many other things like dials and other scroll bars and all kinds of different interesting widgets that the users can have. But in our presentation, we're just going to go over these, small small set of demonstrations. Input dialog and message dialog are simply to get input from the user. So there is a component with static methods there. As we write some code, we will experiment with these. All right. So then swing class hierarchy.